how growing up Catholic affected your work and perspective on life. And I also, confession, sister, is good for the soul, I hear. I would like you to confess to a little thing you did growing up. Okay?
Oh, that's funny though. Yeah, confession is good for the soul. I want him to confess for me. Can I ask him to confess?
Well, you weren't actually as old as you said you were when you signed on to the order.
Yeah, let me start with the first question. Actually, saying that growing up as a Catholic might have affected what I am doing, I don't know whether I can say yes or no on that. But growing up as a person of faith definitely has affected. Because if I didn't have faith, or if I didn't trust in God, I would not have been doing what I'm doing right now. Accepting people with a background you know can never be easy. And so for me, my starting point has always been having faith. And definitely, it's not the faith of being a Catholic, it's a faith in humanity. I have to see the face of God in humanity, in everybody. So up to now, whoever comes to me, I don't know whether they are Catholics or they are Methodists or they are Episcopalians or they are what. I see them as the faces of God, and I remain what I am. Because my being present with them can tell them I am a Catholic, isn't it? Why would I have not chosen to marry? I didn't choose to marry because I want to give my life in this way to support them. And I think that's all I can tell you, and I don't think I really told a lot of lies.
Well, I think that I'm going to cheat and ask you my own question. You mentioned you're afraid of caterpillars, but tell them there's a particular type of snake that you killed with a stick. You want to tell them about that?
Yeah, that's funny. I had to kill a cobra. And incidentally, that was the starting of my mission in St. Monica, in this very place. When I saw a cobra, I heard students screaming. They needed somebody to rescue them. First of all, we tried to call the border riders, are usually very shrewd boys, very strong. I called them, please come and help us. When this guy saw the cobra like that, he ran away. I said, but this is a man. He's running away, okay. So give me a stick. They gave me a long stick. And the students were screaming, sister, don't go, don't go. I said, if I don't go, that cobra is going to kill one of you. I had to hit the head twice, and I killed it.
Well, I'll get back on script. This is from Julianne. What are some of the things you do to take care of yourself when you find yourself exhausted from serving others?
You know, what keeps me going is first my community life. I'm religious, I live in a community, and I find that is quite soothing for my exhaustion, for my tiredness. I'm able to share with the other sisters. And also, my prayer life helps me to overcome that. And I take holidays like any other person when I have the opportunity. And don't forget my cup of coffee.
Well, I understand it's good for you now again. April wants to know, how has your gender affected your work? Has it been a hurdle?
No. No.
Okay.
Next question.
I grew up in a family where there are different sex, boys and girls, and so for me, it's the normal life. And when I was growing up, I went to school with the boys, and I was always the leader of these boys because by the time I was studying, it was not easy for girls to succeed in a school with boys, but I had to stand up. And you can see why I learned how to punch. Really, I had to learn.
Did you get in trouble at school for punching boys?
Yes, I punched one boy and I was dismissed for 2 weeks. And when I was dismissed, I told my dad I was dismissed and he asked me why I punched the boy because they were playing and wasting my time. He said, it's okay, I'll take you back. He took me to the school and he told the headmaster, I think she did the right thing. So I was happy. I was taken back.
Y'all see what I mean?
This is a great question from Tricia. What needs do you have that we could do for you?
There are a lot of needs, and first of all, the greatest thing you can do for me is getting involved in any way, starting from what you can't imagine, starting with collecting pop-tabs, getting involved as volunteers, coming to see exactly what you can do for me. Because for me, I think the meeting of today is a great meeting of starting a long-term relationship. If you don't see it like that, I see it like that. And I am going to ask the president, if he doesn't invite me again here, I'm going to invite myself. And come. If you don't want me to say, I am feeling an alumni of this place.
All right.
I feel so glad. This is the right place where I say, I have been allowed by God to be in at the right time.
Well, you might have more reason to talk about alumniship in a minute, but what I want to tell you is that Reggie and students and Charles Neff, Reggie has volunteered to help us create a mission trip to come visit you with some of our students here.
Is that okay with you?
That's what I look for. That is the greatest response I wanted to hear.
Sister,
Because-
tell them what kind of house they would stay in if they visited, what it's made of.
We have houses built of plastic bottles. You could actually come and put up some of those houses.
I did.
Yes, he did, and
Mine may have
he
fallen down.
was very filthy though when he was doing it. He couldn't. He was dirty with the mud. But that is one thing you can come to do. We fill the plastic bottles with the dirt, and you could see in one of the pictures, one boy without arms is able to fill these bottles with his feet. That's a challenge. And I think if you see that, you will be encouraged to walk along this kind of children. So when you come, you have a lot to do. We have children, you can play with them, they need to be carried, they need people who can show them love, care, and acceptance. And we are starting a new village for the children. We are calling it Sowing Hope Children's Village. We are going to open that in December. So you have plenty of work because we are taking 80 children in this home with 10 mothers. And there are a lot of things you can get involved in. If you can train for these women to take care of the children, come and care for these children, come and begin your campaign of how we can give these children a home. 8 children in a house with a mother, how are we going to care for them? You see, right now, there are a lot of a lot of people here are preparing for Christmas. They are preparing to buy gifts to give friends. You know what I'm worried about, what I'm thinking? I'm planning how I can feed 180 children. I'm thinking of how I can give them one of the best meals they don't get. I'm planning how I can buy for them a new pair of shoes, how I can buy for them one new dress, which will be a gift. That's all I'm planning. So you can get involved in all this.
Well, sister, that fits very good with the next question. This is from Danny. This is a great question. It's after all of the pain and suffering you have seen and experienced, how hard is it for you to find hope, and where have you found it?
You know, I got this question just recently in London. The interviewer was asking me exactly that. He said, do you feel hopeful? I say, I feel hopeful. I see a lot of hope because the women I am working with are walking in dignity. They are totally different. That's where I see hope fitting very well. Because they have been given that hope, they are now reclaiming their lost childhood, their lost dignity. So that's all what I see as a source of great hope.
How has the children, the stigma that they've experienced, how has that changed as Coney's army has diminished?
There are a lot of changes because one thing which I want to tell you is that most of these young women are settling by themselves, starting their own small businesses, and in that way, they are integrated again in the society. They are taking care of their children, and the children are also able to attain education. And that's why it's very important for us to keep on finding ways of making these women economically sustainable in order for them to take care of their children, pay their children, because that is bringing a great change in the society. Just think of these young children, if we leave them, if we don't take care of them, if we don't give them education, they are going to be perpetrators of this evil in future. They will be disgruntled kids. And again, just to add on that, I am going on with the program I'm running. We are introducing basic education for their mothers, reading and writing, because I totally believe education is going to set them free. Education is going to remove them from psychological bondage, from psychological slavery, and it will situate them in the right place. And that is going to be launched in April next year.
I think we have time for one more question because we want to have time afterwards. And if you will continue, and excuse me for
Right.
just a moment.
Yeah.
We have two questions from Mary. The first is, how long do your girls get to stay with you? And secondly, can they get reestablished back into society?
Yes, I start with the last one. They get reestablished in the society. And one thing I must emphasize on, when these girls come to us, we do not give them the limit of time. We let them stay as long as they can. I have girls who have been with me from 2006, and they're still present. That is, they need to prepare themselves. They need to be able to say, I'm now able to go and stay by myself. On the other hand, we do not keep these girls just staying with us doing nothing. We introduce them to different jobs, different employment. Even if it means remaining as a cleaner, that is a job, and they are paid for. So some of these girls are employed, and some of them actually are our teachers. So it's very difficult for us to give a limit of time because it all depends on the level of trauma a girl has gone through. She may be needy for a long time, and we have to give attention to that. We cannot just say you're going to stay here for 2 or 3 years or 1 year. But the choice is given to them to decide if they want to go away or they want to continue or they want to find a place where they can live with their own children.
Sister Rosemary, do you have some of Joseph Coney's children
Yes.
in your daycare?
Yes, I have.
And how was that accepted by some of the people in the community? Did they want you to take Joseph Coney's children in? Or?
In the beginning, that was quite tough. And when I started the kindergarten, I had these children, especially the children of not only Joseph Kony, even other rebels. The children were all there. And I had people asking me, say, sister, you have a very, very good facility for children, but we are afraid of bringing our children because you have children of the rebels. We don't want them to mix with our children. And I said, I don't call any child in this place as a child of a rebel. The children are innocent. And even if you come to my school today, you will not know which child belongs to Joseph Kony. We never point at them. And so I told those people, I say, make the choice. If you want to bring your children to be with us, we will accept them. And if you choose not to bring them, it's fine, but we will continue doing what we are doing.